All right, this is the lesson for Integrated Math Day 115. We're going to talk about reflections. Okay, let's go through the 4 transformations. What are the 4 of them again? First one is when we slide it. What's that called? The second one is when we reflections. The third one? Rotation. And then the last one? Dilation. Okay, good. Okay. So we're going to focus on the reflection. So the big idea here is imagining a mirror, okay? You got to reflect one thing off to the other side. You're not sliding it, you have to reflect it. So just like you see yourself in the mirror, when you see yourself in the mirror and you see the right side of the person in front of you, which is you, is that really your right side that you're seeing, or is it your left side? Left. Left, right? Everything is reversed, right? Does that make sense? And did you ever see a picture of you and then you're like, that doesn't look like me? Because you're used to seeing yourself in the mirror, but it's like a picture of you looks totally different. You know what I'm talking about? It's because the mirror is reflecting. Okay, so today we're going to talk about reflecting, okay? So here's some vocabulary, just a quick review. We don't need to write these down, you know them. Perpendicular lines, the lines that cross at a perfect 90-degree angle, okay? Perpendicular bisector, we did that before where we constructed a bisector last week on your test. It bisects it and it crosses at a perfect 90-degree angle, and a reflection is an image or shape as it would be seen in a mirror, okay? So another idea is like if you put a mirror on your paper, how would it reflect? Or your iPhone. Or whatever, okay? Here we go. So before that, these are rules. Remember how I showed you rules for translations? Okay? So I'd like you to take a moment to write these down. Take about a minute or so. These are for reflections. These are new ones. You see how it says reflections? You haven't seen these yet, so...
I'll write it.
Yep. Please put this down, title, and all of the... And you might want to write it next to the other one so you have an easy place to look at all of them. Okay? I'll give you a moment to do that. Please pause the video and write these down. Okay, so number 1 is already done for us. This is from your book. These examples are from your book. So number 1, these are the steps. Let's say we had an original image. They give us points here, and it says it's asking to reflect it across the y-axis, okay? So I'll show you what the book did, and then I'm going to explain how to do it on number 2, okay? So we got these original points up here. We got M, N, and P, and then you'll notice right here there's M, N, and P. I need you kids to focus, okay? Okay? So it's saying reflect it across the y-axis. This is your y-axis, and we need to reflect it. Does that make sense? Okay, so they did it for us already. So there's 2 ways you could do this, okay? First way you could do it is you could look at the point M and figure out how far is it from the y-axis. How far is point M from the y-axis? Only 1 unit. So I could start from the y-axis and go the opposite direction and move 1 unit there. You'll see that right here. And then we have point M prime. Same thing with N. N is 1 unit away from the y-axis, so we could start from the y-axis and put N prime 1 unit away. And then lastly we got P. P is 1, 2, and 3 units away from the y-axis, and then we could make P prime go 1, 2, and 3 units away from the y-axis right here as P prime. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so that's the first way you could do it. Super easy. That's the way I prefer to do it. It's easy to count. The other thing is if you know the rules, these are the rules you just wrote down here on the side. So since the problem is asking for the y-axis, you see up here y-axis, we're reflecting across the y-axis. Okay. Then you need to look at the rules for reflection across the y-axis. Okay, so if we look at the rule for reflecting across the y-axis, look what's happening. We're just changing x to negative x, okay? You see up here, you're changing the x to negative x?
Yes. I see.
Okay, so the original point for M is 1, 2, so when I want to reflect, you just change 1 to negative 1 and keep the 2 the same. And that's really where the point is right here. You see that? Make sense? We'll do that for all of them. Okay, so number 2, here we go. Number 2, we got M, N, and P. I'm going to put these points down, and it's saying don't reflect it on the y-axis, do it on the x-axis. Okay? So M is 1, 2. We're going to go over 1, up 2, plot a point. And that's point M. Point N is 1, 4. We're going to go over 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, and plot a point. And then P is 3, 3. We're going to go over 1, 2, 3, over up 2 and 3. And this is P. And I created a shape, looks like a triangle to me, and I'm going to reflect it down across the x-axis, okay? So I'm going to use a rule this time. So looking at my rules up here, okay, looking at my rules, okay, it says reflect across the x-axis. So here we go. We're going to not change my x this time, but my y. So notice that this says m is 1, positive 2. We're going to do 1, negative 2. So we're going to go over 1 and down 2. And this is our m prime. Okay. Then the next one says n, 1, 4. Instead of 1, positive 4, we're going to change the 4 to negative or to the opposite. So it's going to be 1, negative 4, which is down here. And then we got p, which is going to be 3, 3. So we're going to go 3 and negative 3. Okay. And then we got our reflection. Okay. Now, what do you notice about this reflection here? So it kind of looks like a what? Oh, dang. So which one is it? Translation or reflection? We did a reflection, right? Right? Think about where our points are. Right? It's definitely a reflection because n prime is underneath now, and n was started at the top. So, but it doesn't look like a reflection. I mean, it doesn't look like a translation anyways. Yeah, so be careful with which one you pick. Good. All right, so let's have today, who wants to, what number? Pick a number. First number. 2. 4. I heard 4. Okay, 4. Okay, 4 goes first. 4 will explain number 1. Okay, 4 is pick a number.
7.
3. Okay, 3. Okay. 3s. So 4s are going to go first, explaining how to do number 1, and then 3s will explain number 2. Ready, set, and go. Okay, next one. Number 3. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, let's all do this on Desmos. You're going to pull up Desmos. I'll show you how to do it. Please go to Desmos. Okay. Okay. So, go to Desmos. That one's not as funny. It's funny, but it's not as funny. Okay, I'm trying to get you through this. Okay. So yours should start looking like mine. We got our point D is at 2, 0. Point E is at 2, 2. Point F is at 5, 2. And point G is at 5, 1. Okay? Okay, what kind of shape does this make? Everyone turn to your neighbors, talk about that. What shape is this? It's a quadrilateral. What kind of quadrilateral is it? It's not a triangle. That's a 3-sided figure. I heard someone say it.
Pyramid?
It's not a pyramid. I heard someone say it over there. Sonny, you said it. Starts with a T. Trapezoid. Isn't this a trapezoid? If you look at it sideways? Yeah. Okay, cool. Look at the rules. It's saying, I want you to reflect it off the what axis? The y-axis. Okay, let's all look at the rules from your notes. Which one would you, how would you get it to reflect across the y? What would you change? What would you change, everyone? The x or the y? X, good. So all you have to really do is flip the x. So you should have an E prime here, D prime here, F prime here, and then G prime here. And then you draw your figure, which is the trapezoid that's reflected across the y-axis. Okay? Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, cool. Let's do this again. Number 2 here. Same figure, but look what the rule is. Look at what the rule is. It's saying we're going to translate it on y is equal to x, okay? So let's put y is equal to x into your iPads. So keep your original points and then write y is equal to x on a new line on your Desmos app. And it's going to create a diagonal line and saying reflected on that. So let's look at the rules. What would you do to change to reflect it y is equal to x? Look at the rules. Look at the rules from earlier. The 4. These rules, how would you do it? How would you reflect it? Y is equal to x.
Change it to negative y, negative x.
Is that what it says?
Oh wait, no. Change it to y.
Good, so don't we just switch the x and the y? Yeah, that's all you do. So on this one, here we go. We're going to put the original ones down, and then I'm going to walk around and check your work. I'd like you to reflect it as y is equal to x. These are your 4 points. We got D, E, F, and G, right? Is that what I got? Or did I do this wrong? 2, 2. Oh, that's right. Yep, y is equal to x, so you have to flip all your y's and your x's. To translate it, so your D prime is going to be 0, 2. E prime is actually the same point as E. Did you all notice that? And then your F prime is going to be not 5, 2, but 2, 5. And then G prime is going to be 1, 5. Right? Draw your picture, and it looks like the exact same thing. Okay? And that's it. So super easy. We're doing reflections today. That concludes the lesson. That's it.